Everyone, good afternoon. This is my little surprise live to chat to you a bit about the whole kind of new situation that we find ourselves in. So I'll just give it a minute or two. If you're watching this on replay, you can probably just forward it along, just a minute or two until everyone joins. If you are watching it live or on replay, do give me a little hello, a wave, a comment. Often when you do that, it alerts other people to the actual live, so it helps other people to see that I'm live. So I hope I'm actually going live in the tribe. Do let me know, because sometimes I end up going live on my personal page instead by mistake. So I can see a couple of people watching. Can't see who it is for some reason, it's not showing me, but just give me a little hello, a wave, or a thumbs up, a love heart, something like this, and I know that you're there with me. The first thing I want to say is, of course, Happy New Year. You might be thinking, what? Happy New Year? Anyway, I'll come on to that. But the second thing, oh, hi Karen, lovely, I can see you've just popped up. The second thing I want to say is welcome to all the new people that have joined the group recently. Oh, a very warm welcome. You've joined on the month of mindfulness. And it's not showing me your names, it's just showing me your pictures. I can't quite see. Is that Karen? Yeah, that's Karen. Hi Karen, lovely. Two Karens. So you've joined on a month of mindfulness, which is a really nice way to join. Hello, lovely. I can see you now. Your name's popping up. So while everyone's joining, I just want to ask you guys how you're feeling. So I really want to, as always, acknowledge your feelings. It's not about just brushing them under the carpet. It's not about saying, come on, let's be positive. I will get to that bit. But I always first acknowledge how you're feeling in this moment. And it's okay to feel all the things that you're feeling. Happy New Year to you too, Karen. So one thing when things like this happen is get your frustration out first. So those of you that joined the mini retreat that I had on the 30th online, we spoke a little bit about this in anticipation actually of basically what was announced yesterday. We did talk about, okay, how do we find our empowerment regardless of what happens around us? Because this is really my biggest takeaway from 2020 is that, you know, we know it in theory, but we had the opportunity last year to truly practice that. And that is when you actually shift consciousness, you shift gear, you shift in your ability to deal with things. So the one thing I want to say is that you've done this. You've done it, okay? And allow yourself a little bit of frustration, sadness and everything else, and then bring it back to the fact that you can do this. So Karen's saying, I'm pissed off and trying to be positive and upbeat. Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. You're allowed to feel pissed off, right? So what I'll say is, those of you that live in Wales, you might not, you probably are aware, but of those of you that don't live in Wales, but we've been in lockdown since properly like 21st of December. So we've had a little bit of time to get used to it. Also, prior to that, I don't know if you are aware, but you probably are, the pubs and the restaurants and the shops and everything, they all shut by 6 o'clock. And that happened quite a while before Christmas. So we've actually had a little bit of time to get used to it. So if you cast your minds back to the first lockdown, it was like mayhem in the beginning, wasn't it? And it took time. But eventually we found our groove. So if you are feeling pissed off and trying to be positive, don't worry too much right now. Allow yourself to be pissed off. It's part of the journey, right? I know it sounds a bit like a cliche, but you're allowed to get sad, pissed off, angry, and, you know, bitch about it, okay? But trust me. Hi, Michelle, welcome. It will shift. So for us, it's been like quite a few weeks in Wales now where things have been a little bit locked down. At the same time, we've also spent the 30th, the online retreat, getting used to the fact that we'll probably have another lockdown. So for me, I kind of just anticipated it. In fact, I've been anticipating this since June. So I think change and things that change around us are a lot to do with, and Helen's just joined, lovely. In your post this morning, it's saying the same thing. It's like, right, well, there's going to be change for the rest of our lives. Some of it will be internal change, and some of it, and a lot of it, will be things happening around us. So we have to go through a little bit of a process. And there's loads of change models that I often talk about. In fact, I might do that one next time. But I actually quite enjoy change for that reason. I think the reason I enjoy it doesn't mean I get frustrated, doesn't mean I don't get pissed off. It's because I go inside and I'm like, it doesn't matter. And this can go from ex-boyfriends, you know, nasty bosses, the weather, people, places, situations is all happening around us. So when you go through things, and that's why I put that post this morning saying a strong woman, there's a reason behind a strong woman, isn't there? And it's going through those things and coming out the other side. It doesn't mean denying feelings. It doesn't mean pushing them away. It doesn't mean trying to be positive when you're feeling crap. It's about going, I acknowledge what feelings I have inside. Let me let some time pass, and then I'm going to be proactive in trying to change those feelings. Yeah, you put there, Helen, you were expecting it. Yeah, so as soon as we got lifted in June, I thought, okay, yeah. And I spoke about it a little bit on the lives that I expect there will be another one. But I didn't talk about it too much because I don't want to dampen people. But like I say, on the mini retreat we did on the 30th, we did talk about this a little bit in terms of it doesn't matter what life throws at us going forward. How we deal with it is what is important. And it's each time something like this happens is more and more how we build our resilience. So what I call it is it's switching gear. We've got to switch gear now. So we've done this before, and we actually found a little groove, if you remember. Watching from Prestatyn. Hello, lovely. And welcome one of our new members. Lyndon, hello. Oh, hi, it's so nice to see you. So we're switching gear. I want you to cast your mind back. You were thinking, I don't want to go there. I don't want to go back to 2020. No, we're not going there. You have learned so much this year. You have changed, you've evolved, you developed. So allow that little bit of frustration to pass and then go, right, okay, I am the master of my own mind, actually. No matter what anything or anybody else does around me, what worked for me? Okay, so when I was even deep into lockdown, what worked for me? And you can even sit and journal about this. What went really well, okay? What ended up being the thing that I went to, my go-to during lockdown? Second of all, what didn't go well? I tried this and I tried that, but it didn't really work. For me, lots of drinking didn't work that well. Actually, do you know what? It did. It worked for what needed at the time, but you know, I feel like I've been there. I did that last year. That was my spiral, and I'm not saying there's any judgment on what you choose to do and how you get through this. Everybody's different. You choose the thing that works for you at the time. For me, I'm going to try and stay out of it this time, only because I go down a spiral. I'm going to go down a spiral. That means bad eating, it means feeling tired in the evening, it means feeling grumpy, and it just goes on from there. What I would say to you, and I always say, is start with the one thing that is the easiest, that is the most enjoyable, that is like one thing that will shift you. Hi, Mum. So for me, a lot of the time that is going for a walk. You've seen me do that. Day 5 today on the monthly, this month of mindfulness is going for a walk. So that always shifts my mood. But whether it's healthy eating, whether it's doing yoga, whether it's breath work, going for a walk, thinking positively, journaling, you don't have to do all of them. Okay? So try not to beat yourself up with loads of to-do lists and throw yourself back into it. Just say to yourself, what is the one thing that really worked for me during lockdown? What is the things that didn't work for me? And just try to maybe pick one and drop it. And most importantly, every day is then ask yourself, what is the one thing that I can do today that is going to help me? And I think this is a really powerful question because every day is different. So if that means having a drink, then that means having a drink. If it means like, I need to get outside today, get outside. So I remember missing that transition between work and house and all these different things, and for some of you for school and this kind of thing. I like that sense of movement. I think more. I used to listen to lots of audiobooks in the car. So why not just take a drive and listen to something on an audiobook, or do the same thing while walking? So if you give yourself a little bit of a purpose behind what you're doing, that can help as well. These are just some tips that I've got. I'm going to remind you of my 3 main tips that I released in March. Really, really simple. Number 1, try not to listen too much to the news. I know we have to from time to time. We have to find out what's going on, I know. But actually, you know what? If you turn that radio off completely, the news will find you through friends, through family, through a post that you've read. I've not listened to any of the announcement, and yet I know that there was an announcement. So choose carefully when you check into the news. And remember, it is one point of an opinion is news. It's not everything. There's other sources of information as well. 2, social media. Correct, we are on social media now. My point about social media is pick who you listen to, pick who you follow. Try not to even look and scroll if you can. And if you struggle with that little bit of an addiction, because I know we all do, unfollow people, unfriend people. You don't have to completely unfriend people, but unfollow them or snooze them for 30 days and see how different you feel about not reading the things that certain people are posting. 3 is breath work. So these are my 3 tips. We're going to do a little bit of breath work before I close today as well. Please also just send me any comments or questions as we're going through this. Tell me how you're feeling. Tell me what you're experiencing. So what I want to reiterate really, I think, is a kindness and compassion to ourselves and to each other. I think that just like before last year, everybody has got different situations. So it's really hard not to judge somebody else's situation. Last year, I put people into 3 categories. Of course, there are so many more, but in general, I found that there was the key workers, there was the busy parents with little ones, like going crazy homeschooling, and then there were people that were living on their own, feeling really isolated and lonely. And there is no one better than the other or worse than the other. You know, there's always a plus with a negative. So I think, you know, there's opinions, there's thoughts, there's all sorts going round, and try and have that kindness and compassion for others as well as yourself as well. So when we did the online retreat on the 30th of December, we talked about the circle of influence and the things that we can and can't control. And I know a lot of us know about these things, but in reality, it's very difficult and it's much harder. But going through this pain is what we actually is where we actually shift how we see the world and how much happier we can be. So I am going to do another online retreat. I was going to do one in person on the 10th. That's not going to happen. But I kind of knew that wasn't going to happen. The 24th, I was hopeful, but I don't think that's going to happen either. So I am going to do another online retreat, as I did before. It's cheaper than the offline ones. I'll post about that later today, but I just wanted to let you know about that. Karen says, you were all 3. Working from, okay, yeah, that's really tough. So the other things that can help you, a lot of you got involved in the 10-day resets last year. I'm not going to be doing any live at the moment. I may do, but they are all now pre-recorded. They're really, really good value. Take you through. You've got me twice a day talking to you, do meditations with you and things like that. So my key point really is to take your empowerment back. We want to get to a place where no matter what happens, people around us, what people say, the news, the government, the weather, that we can still go, that's okay because I'm going to do this. Okay, that doesn't cost money, or that doesn't cost money, so I'm going to do this. Whatever works for you. So it's basically baby steps. I'll remind you of the 5 yogic principles. We have got pranayama, which is breath work. We'll just do a few minutes of that in a moment. We've got relaxation, so allowing yourself to rest and recover. That helps cortisol levels, okay, so it brings your stress level down. That builds your immune system. Nutrition, of course, is completely linked to your immune system, but at the same time, to your mood, to your nervous system and everything else. Thoughts. So thoughts, obviously I do lots of things around thoughts. So thoughts can impact our mood, how we feel, our energy, even our immune system. And finally is exercise. So it doesn't have to be going for a run. I know sometimes I show you me building up for a run and going for a run like the Couch to 5K. It doesn't have to be that. I went for a lovely walk the other day. Day 5 is about going for a walk. I do stretches on the floor. It doesn't have to be every day either. It doesn't have to be like an hour. Sometimes just 5 minutes of moving your body is enough. And it doesn't have to be all 5. When you're all 5, you're pretty peaceful, you're pretty damn happy. So pick the one that works for you. Pick the easiest one, the most enjoyable one, and that will bring your positive spiral up. The momentum will build. So just like there's a negative spiral that we fall down, there's a positive one as well. Okay, so that's pretty much what I wanted to say to you today. It does get easier. So as I said, we've been in Wales, so we've been in this situation a little while for now. Bilal, lovely to see you. So I'm going to end today's little surprise live with some breath work, not for too long, but just give it a go if you've never done it before. Doesn't take long, but it will shift how you feel, body and mind. All right, so let's get comfy. Let's relax our shoulders. Let's just bring the energy down. I've been talking, and let's relax the face. Soften the face, relax the shoulders, and take a deep breath in. Release slowly if you can. We're going to do that deep breath again, but this time we're going to blow it away, inhaling. And this time with a sigh as we inhale. Chances are one of those felt a little bit nicer than the others. So go to that next time. Find what works for you. And you can continue to breathe however you like. For those of you that feel a little anxious when you focus on your breath, then just focus on something else. Maybe visualize the mountains with the snow on top. It's what I can see out of the window. Or maybe it's a warm beach. Everyone's different. Some people are more visual. Some people are more kinesthetic, which means connecting to the physical body. Just practice that non-judgment, that kindness and compassion to yourself, to others. And just start to see if you can let the muscles of the body soften. Just relax. Just allow yourself to drop those shoulders. Soften the muscles of the face, the frowns, the concentration, the smiles even. Drop the mask. Be you. We're just returning back to ourself, where there's a calmness always within. That sense of trust, empowerment, and a knowing that you've got all the resources that you need, all the wisdom that you need to not only survive but to thrive, to take your empowerment back, to say, right, I trust myself, to shift gear right now, to stay calm as often as I can, to allow my emotions to come up when they do, and then to take action of what feels right in that moment, on that day. Take each day, day by day. To switch off when you need to find your silence and claim your me time, to reach out for help when you need to. So as you take a deep breath in this time, let's count in for 1, 2, 3, 4. See if you can release for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In for 4, 3, 2, 1. Out for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In for 4. Out for 8. Two more times. In for 4. Out for 8. In for 4. Out for 8. Just breathing normally here. Just feeling that calmness running through your body. Just place a gentle smile on your lips, feeling even lighter. Feeling that deep connection to yourself, that wise you, the calm you, the resourceful you. And the whole nervous system and the endocrine system, the immune system, all of them. Taking that break for a few minutes. Recharged, re-energized, lighter, as I slowly count you back from 1 to 3, and at 3 you'll be feeling more hopeful, feeling a little lighter, grounded. Starting with 1. To think about coming back, and with 2, maybe connecting to your body, wiggling fingers, wiggling toes, maybe rolling the shoulders. A deep breath in, a sigh or blowing away. And with 3, blinking those eyes open, back in the here and now. Hopefully feeling a little bit better, a little bit calmer. And on Friday we're going to do a 15-minute full meditation. So there'll be a very, very brief intro, and we'll just go straight into a meditation to help you with your goals, to help you with the things that you wanted to implement this year. Hey, Steve. And then I'll be putting on another online mini retreat in a week or so. I'll let you know. So feel free to join me for that. That will be a talk, a gentle yoga class, meditation, and some journaling together. So please let me know how you feel after that meditation and after that little talk. If you feel a little bit better. If you don't, it's absolutely fine. You've just got to find what works for you. Maybe you just need a little bit of time for your feelings to pass. We don't have to force it. You know, maybe you just need to step outside today, get some fresh air, go for a walk, get the endorphins going, get the sense of achievement going with the dopamine, see some beautiful colours, some wildlife. That is my day 5 for you today. So if you do watch this on replay, of course I will reply to your messages as well, so do feel free to drop your messages in there. Yep, and I will see you on Friday. Bye for now.